What's going on, everybody? It's Phdarien. We're starting a new episode called CARnicles. This is going to be episode 1. It's January 10th, 2020 AD. I'm giving this test run a shot. Obviously, I'm at 59 uploaded videos. I think this may be my 60th video or close to it around that time frame. I went from having damn near no subscribers to just now about 200. That's great. Thanks for everybody who is subscribing, who decided to watch my channel. This is not a full-blown only gun friendly or gun tube type channel, although I'm always packing, right? I'm always prepared. And that's the lesson today, right? Is being prepared. I want to talk about that briefly because that's something I think most of us lack. This isn't generation specific, although there are some more than others. This isn't baby boomers, Gen X, and millennials, zennials, that 3 to 4 year gap that I fall under, and Gen Z. None of that. This is the whoever's alive right now who can understand this message generation. And being prepared is probably the biggest thing you can do. I mean, I personally just love the way that Scar said it in The Lion King. One of the things that we need to be prepared for is the day that you are in. Most of us aren't prepared to get up and go to work, get up and go to school, get up and go meet somebody on time. A good friend of mine in the military used to always say something. I thought he was a loser. That dude made the highest rank he could achieve at the time. He would always say, 15 minutes early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late. And he would say that all the time, to the point where it was nauseating to hear. I'd be like, bro, chill with that already. This was 20 years ago as well. It's very, very hard to tell somebody to be prepared when the real answer is,
yeah, be prepared. Yeah, we'll be prepared. For what?
Right? Prepare for the here and the now. Right now, it's winter. Are you prepared for winter? Do you have warm clothes? Do you have enough firewood? Above all things I'm going to say, I'm going to hit back on this later, is you need to be prepared with your own body. You need to be in spiritual shape, mental shape. Those aren't the same. They cross over a lot. And then physical shape. I'll hit on those later. But being prepared. So being myself, I've been in the military, and like I showed you, I have that firearm here with me. Nothing even remotely close to doing with the video, although it definitely was a good prop for it. Dang, it's a little chilly, right? I guess I'm not prepared. My gloves are upstairs, not on my hands. So I'm already like, right? I'm already being a little bit of a hypocrite, I guess. I'm not prepared for this, but this was a new thing I'm trying to do. It's not a great excuse, but it's still my excuse, right? Being prepared. So it's winter. What's next? Spring. Are you prepared? What about the new deals, the sales? Where are you going to go? Are you prepared in advance to book travel? Last minute stuff sometimes will work out for you. I'm not going to lie. People who buy even so much as plane tickets early sometimes pay, well in advance. They'll pay a really high price. And sometimes last minute flights, they'll give those away very, very cheap. And sometimes you pay a lot more than the person who paid ahead of time, being prepared. But some of the biggest things, and I'm not some of the people I used to subscribe to who, I swear to God, every day they had a video, they were pushing some new product out, and I knew a bus driver who worked for this company, and I knew a UPS driver, and they told me everything in China is going bad, and the world's going to end in 2 weeks, and they pushed that for months, and I got to the point where I was like, if you're just trying to be an alarmist, you'll get people initially, and then they'll start thinking for themselves, and that's great. My whole thing is you being prepared is you be prepared for you. Don't be prepared because I'm doing it. Be prepared because that's what you need to do. For those people who live in the mountains, who live out in the desert, who live, where you have to go plan your trip, once again, go to town and get supplies and whatever it is. Those people have a natural prepper lifestyle, and they're not even called or labeled as preppers. They're just regular citizens. Whereas if you live in the city and you have enough stuff in case the grid went down, you are now a crazy prepper.
Nope.
I don't understand the logic of that. I mean, black people at one point used to be big preppers. I mean, hell, everybody in the country was a prepper at some point. You had a farm, you knew where to get your water, you had a well. Now we depend on the city for everything. I swear, if like one person threw a big metal rod in your spoke wheels, you will go over the handlebars, eat it, and not know what to do. And there'll be no one to pick you up. And I think we're not prepared because everything has been easy so far. We've all been living life on easy street. We've been riding the wave of prosperity, so to say. Being prepared is a lot more than just having, bullets, beans, band-aids, and, you watched a couple YouTube videos of some of these gun tubers on how to hold a rifle with your C-grip, you know what I mean, or something like that. I want to talk real quick also, I'm going to go ahead and stop that. What got me into being prepared, 4 things was my job in the military. So I'm a naval air crewman. So I'm in the Navy, plan to be out on a ship. You got to be prepared for that crap. I'm an air crewman, so I'm in aviation. I fly in helicopters. I haven't flown in a couple months because I'm physically like med down right now because my neck, and I have some knee issues going through physical therapy. I'll probably get back in the bird soon and go back up. But right now I'm just working on healing my body. That to me is a sign of being prepared because I know later on in life I'm going to need those. I'm going to need my knees. I'm going to need my neck. I'm going to need my knees to huff my stuff or hike or climb on things that I can't physically do right now. So instead of wearing myself out now, I'm going to take this time to prepare for something I'm going to need them for later in life. So I wear a bunch of crap on my vest, right? Probably put a picture up of me looking like a clown on my last deployment, just wearing all this stuff. And on a day-to-day basis when I'm flying with all that, I use none of it. Maybe the flashlight. And that's only on night flights. And I still have my own flashlight that's small, that way I don't have to take it off my vest. Chance of it falling out, losing it, anything like that. And I just prefer to have my own stuff. So most of us as air crewmen, we all know, or not even just air crewmen, people in the military, we all have go bags, ditch bags, hit and run pack. Hit and run is we hit the ground, we grab it, and we run. Ditch, obviously same thing. If we have to ditch somewhere, ditch the aircraft, or a go bag, just grab it and go. They all serve the same purpose. You may ask, what's the time frame? What should I be looking for? 24, 72 hour, or night? Hey, a bag to get you through your situation. Do you plan on being in this situation for 24 hours or less? 72, 96? Don't bring a month's worth of crap, where you only may need a few days. Like, what's the likelihood of you being rescued? What's the likelihood of you being stranded somewhere where there's no cell service? There's very little to no human activity in this region. That's what you need to prepare for, not what you saw a couple YouTubers who've never worn the cloth or the uniform. And I'm not saying those people don't know what the heck they're talking about, but they can only speak to that. I'm not saying I know everything because I've been in the military. I'm just saying I've seen instances where being prepared was a live and life or death situation for a lot of us. Like absolutely life or death. Just recently, I was dropping my buddy's girlfriend off at the airport a couple days ago, and she was mentioning how Richmond and certain areas, 50-some mile stretch, I-95, clobbered, closed, and these people not only were running out of fuel for their cars, they had no prep, anything, nothing, right? and so like they were stuck in their cars for almost a day. And it's like, once again, it's very easy for us to feel like the warm and cozy, nothing will ever happen. I'm just going to go drive from here to there. I'll be there in no time. And that's good, right? To have, realistic plans. But what happens when those plans go haywire? Well, now you're screwed. You're absolutely screwed. And I was telling her as I was dropping her off at the airport, I was like, while that would suck, the first thing that I'd run out of is fuel, but I'm actually good. And she was just like, in what way? And I'm like, well, I've got water in the trunk. I've got bottles of water, not just enough for me, enough for, if there were some people, we're all stuck on the freeway somewhere, nut to butt, bumper to bumper. I could be a blessing to some of those people. You could barter, you could trade. Not saying I would be trying to barter and trade right now, but I could. I've got a blanket in the trunk. I've got a change of clothes. I've got wool socks. I've got thermal pants. I've got a change of footwear. Like right now, I'm wearing freaking Crocs. Some people actually hate Crocs. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of hate Crocs, but they're comfortable. And my sister makes fun of me for wearing them, so I'm gonna keep on wearing them. But I have batteries. Right now, you see my face is lit up with a light. When you have lights, if it's not charged up, and it can hold a charge for a long time, make sure you have batteries when you go through these things. Do you plan on being stuck on the freeway for just one day? What if it was 2 days? Your car is going to run out of gas. You only have so much heat. What other ways do you have to warm yourself up? Or your children, for crying out loud. And that's another thing, is a lot of people travel with their own kids, which that's, normal, but you have to think about that. What about medical supplies? I need insulin. I need my EpiPen. This needs to be refrigerated or needs to be at a cool temperature. Thankfully, it already is that temperature outside. Just leave it in your car. It'll get that cold. But you'll get just as cold with it. And you can't run every scenario in your life and say, I get to be prepared for all of them. You need to be prepared for the most common ones that happen to you. I grew up in San Diego, in the desert, in a mountainous desert / whatever urban environment. I was prepared for that. I don't live there anymore. I live in Virginia. And I'm now prepared for the things that Virginia offers. Hurricanes, snow, nor'easter, like heavy windstorms and all this junk. I'm prepared for the people, my surroundings. Thought I heard something. Robbers, looters, whatever it may be. What's the crime rate in my area? I'm prepared for that too. That's also why I have that prop you saw at the beginning, right? Of course, it's there for part of the prop, kind of, but it's there because, I could have it in my car. It's a pistol. I just spit. I don't want to use any of my stuff, but I don't want to need it and don't have it. We've all heard the phrase, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And if you haven't heard that, remember that. It's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. So enough of that. You need to have your bullets, beans, band-aids, but not only do you need to have them, you need to know how to use them. I know a lot of people who will go out and buy an IFAC or some equivalent, never open it up. They'll leave that thing sealed. Buy two at least. Buy one for training, buy the other for actual. You know what's in it, you know how to use it when you need it. And you might even replace some of the stuff and say, I don't need that, or I found a better product to replace this with. This fits me. I've got 4 children. 2 of them need an inhaler. So when I roll around, I have emergency inhalers. I have one in my glove box, one in my center console. And they stay there. But if somebody needs one, thank God I have one available in case somebody had an asthmatic attack. I don't want this video to get too long. I think I'm currently at around 13 minutes or something like that. But being financially prepared is a big one. We all, worry about finance this, finance that. This is going to cost us much money. Having money on you, cash on you, and I hate cash. I'm a credit card hound, right? I've got a grip of credit cards. I think I have 11 of them. Something like that. But I have 0 debt, so don't think I'm too crazy, right? But I actually hate carrying cash because it serves me no value except in a time where the power's out. And then when I do have them, I don't carry large notes. I don't carry, I'm not walking around with Benjamins and C notes all the time. And it's like, no, man, if I need to break it, I want it broken already. I do have some large notes. I do have hundreds, but I don't carry them as a natural thing. They're in the house or something like that. In my car, at any given point, I have at least $250 in small notes from like $150, and the rest of them are 20s, 10s, and 5s and stuff like that, and some 1s. And they're not all my eggs aren't in one basket. Some are in the glove box, some are in the center console, some's in the trunk in my prepared box. Some are in the what's that called? The visor. And it's just so I don't get hit all at once. So if someone did break into my car and they went like this and they pulled down whatever amount of money is up there, they're going to take it and dash. They wouldn't have got it all. So I don't want to put all of my stuff in one area. So being financially prepared is a good one. You need to be financially prepared in life. If your outcome or your spending exceeds your income, which is how much you bring in, your upkeep will be your downfall. So if your outcome exceeds your income, your upkeep will be your downfall. I learned that a long time ago. So financial preparedness is a really great place to start, but the only way I believe you can really get there is if you are mentally prepared to even do that. And that takes a lot of discipline. And some people have the spirituality side of it tied in with the mental side and all of that, and they want to do it because of, a religious reason or a personal reason to attain a certain goal. And those are all fine and dandy, and I really salute all those people who do that. Having those 3 to 6 months expenses, like Dave Ramsey will say, baby step 3, I believe. So get out of debt, save $1,000, get out of debt, accept the mortgage. Step 3, save 3 to 6 months expenses. Then, save for college and all that stuff. And most of us can't do step 1. Most of us can't save $1,000. Like, at all. You can't save a buffalo nickel if you wanted to. You just can't do it. And so if you can't prepare for something like that, I have no reason to believe you can survive any natural disaster that strikes you, any financial collapse, because you are your own financial collapse, any other without rule of law, shit hitting the fan, anything. I don't think you're going to be prepared for that either, right? If you can't prepare for what you throw at yourself, you will definitely not be prepared for what the government throws at you, let alone somebody in the street. One of my biggest preps outside of my own body, which I'm going to get to right now, is my dog. So I have a 3-year-old Belgian Malinois named Petey. I don't know why my son named that dude Petey, but that's his name. He is a part of my preps. Also in the back of my trunk is some dog food. Because if there's any point that I have my dog, let's say I have my dog and he wasn't just at the house. Well, that sucks, dude. You're not going to eat. Well, I have water. I've got a collapsible bowl that I can just stuff, and it's like neoprene. It's really malleable. It can fold up. I can put it in a pocket and just push that thing out, and I have a bowl. So if I hit a stream, river, water, I can still give my dog water. I've got food in that trunk as well for him. Things he'll like, treats. Yes, flashlights, all that stuff, ammo, waterproof stuff, maps, matches. I've got 3 to 4 different ways to make fire. And not because I just want 4 ways to make fire, because one of those ways might not work based on the environment I'm in, right? What if it's too windy? Okay, well, matches sucking. What if I have a torch? What if I run out of fuel in that torch or something like that? Okay, so I'm talking too fast. But so not only is my dog my prep, I am my own best prep. You are your own best and or worst prep. If you cannot fight for your stuff, if you can't get to your stuff, I don't understand how people can say, I saved up, all this stuff just to have marauders and roving patrols take it from you. You can't get to your crap, let alone once you get there, if there was someone else there snooping around, you couldn't fight him to defend it off. You lack the know-how, you lack the confidence, the skills to even fight for your stuff. Go take a class. Go take a self-defense class. It doesn't have to be with firearms, although I highly recommend you do that. Go take a class on how to do hand-to-hand skills. Don't do no freaking fight club. Go pick a fight with some random person and all that other junk. But you have to really understand how to throw these things if you need to. It's unfortunate if you don't, because the day you need to learn how to do it is not the day you want to be practicing that. And that's kind of what I mean by being prepared. At least have an idea what it's like, right? What is it? Mike Tyson said everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face. Until you get punched in the face, unawares or being aware, it's always going to still stun you, right? I got punched in the face one time. I saw the fist coming in slow motion. Still got popped. I was like, dang, okay, now what? What do I do? Do I sit here and try and get my vision back? It's blurry out of my left eye. Or do I counterattack? Right? Now, at this point in my life, I know what to do, but I had to walk that earlier in life to understand what would I do in this situation. But being prepared, get your arse in the gym. And if you don't have a gym, you have a home, an apartment. If you're watching me on any new device, I don't care if it's the first iPhone, which that sucks for you, but If you're watching me through some means of internet, whether cellular data, Wi-Fi, then you're probably in a house, apartment, condo of some sort. And that means you have the means to get in shape. You may not have the willpower, and that's because you're not prepared for it, because everything's so easy for you right now. And there's many men and women I respect who are in this space of being preparedness and former service members, active service members, things like that. We all have our own, thing cut out, right? Police officers. I respect all these men and women in law enforcement and the military. I do believe we all have roles within those communities, but that's another topic for another day. I'm already pressing 20 some minutes on this thing. You guys probably already timed out. I'm like, yep, he's boring. I hate CARnicles, right? But you need to be prepared. Be prepared to walk far distances. Those people who literally just got their car stuck somewhere. What if the next, exit was 2-3 miles from there, or a mile and a half, and it's cold? Do you have something to change into?
Nope.
Okay, you don't. So are you prepared to walk that mile and a half to go somewhere else? Are you willing to leave your car?
Nope.
Just stuck in the middle of the road? Like, these are all questions that some are time critical. You can't plan for that. All right? You plan to go to work and you go the same route every day and it's detoured, blocked. Okay, now what are you going to do? And if you don't know anything, know this. We use this a lot in the military. It's called a PACE plan. PACE. First thing is primary. Second is alternate. Third is contingency. Fourth is emergency. So we always have a primary plan in going somewhere or doing something. And then you have an alternate, right? Or a backup, a really strong number two, which is sometimes equal to your primary. It may be altered very slightly. It could be a little bit different. And a contingency is when something else is implemented that's going to change how you're going to do that at all, right? What if the road is blocked, right? That's not an alternate. That's a contingency. And that for you also could be an emergency. What's your emergency plan? And all these fields of study that you're going to have in your life, whether it be in your child, your community. I would also say a part of your preps is your neighbors, your friends, family members. Are they on board with you mentally? Are they on board with you financially? Are they givers as well as takers? Are they just leeches? Do they just like the fact that you prepared for them? The only people I prepare for outside myself are my children and my dog. Now, I will be a blessing to friends, family, and neighbors and stuff like that, but they are not my responsibility. They're just not.
Nope.
However, I will use them the same way that we will use each other, right? And if I provide some level of security, medical strength, overall strength to something which still kind of falls in line with security, then so be it. And if you provide something else for me that I can use, comms, whatever, great. So I just want you guys to understand, being prepared this year, you should be prepared more than ever. Come the middle of the year, I think we're all going to be tested. Don't ask me why I know that. I really don't know that, but for some reason I have a hunch, all right? My spider sense is going off right now. I feel in the next 5 to 6 months, what we know now as food storage and food shortages is going to be even worse than it is now. Most of the places I've seen, Walmart's, Food Lions, even the commissary on base, some of those places are bare on the shelf. And I'm looking for that one thing I always would see, gone. And I look at the sticker or the tab and I'm like, oh, that's what I was looking for. And sometimes I'm like, hey, are you guys restocking? Oh, we haven't had that in weeks. And I'm already thinking to myself, it's time. We're past the time, but it's time. Get canned goods. Get things that are non-perishable. Get things that are really, really cheap. Beans and rice, rice and beans. I know it's heavy in starches and stuff like that, but hey, it'll keep you alive. Learn different ways to cook that. Have an actual cookbook or print some stuff that you saw on the internet. You might not have the ability to charge your phone. I would highly suggest going on Amazon and buying solar chargers as well to charge simple things like your phone. And yes, you may not have internet at that point, but you still can have the flashlight. You may have the pictures of you and your family, and that may be enough, for hope. This video is coming to a close right now. Going 25 minutes in. I didn't plan on doing that much, but I feel like I had to get some of that stuff off my chest. Moral of the story is be prepared, and